polls have come out about the economy, and it should come as no surprise that most voters, including quite ardent Trump supporters, are not happy with the way that he is currently handling the economy. And I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that he very much ran on a platform of affordability for the average everyday American. And by and large, if you're an average everyday American, you are probably not feeling that great about your financial situation. I'm a financial expert. I talk extensively about the K-shaped economy that we're currently in, where typically higher income people that own assets, rich people are feeling really good about the economy, while there's this divergence where the rest of people just feel like they are not getting ahead no matter what they do, beaten down by inflation and stagnant wages, etc. And so again, if you're a politician that is very deliberately running on this affordability agenda, I mean, there's a reason why politicians like Trump and even politicians like Zoran in New York City are getting elected, because they're running on an affordability agenda. If you are promising that and you are absolutely not only not delivering, but kind of not even talking about it anymore, people are going to be pissed. And I think that's why in the past couple of weeks, we've seen Trump kind of try to release this like flurry of policy ideas that are aimed at affordability. And I would argue that a lot of them are misguided. They probably are not going to work the way they're intended. And overall, are kind of almost too little too late. If you think about how expensive groceries have gotten, healthcare premiums, childcare costs, those are three things that very directly impact everyday average Americans, and they are seeing that price over and over again. So it's very top of mind for them. And what I find really interesting about this recent polling is that voters are increasingly blaming Trump, not Biden, for the current state of economy, because that was actually something you saw when Trump first got elected, that he was inheriting this like bad economy from Biden. But now I think a lot of people are placing the blame more squarely on Trump if you think about some of his economic policies like tariffs. And it's just very interesting to see how voter sentiment has shifted quite quickly. I also find it very interesting and confusing that the Trump administration keeps talking about how good the economy is and how well the economy is growing. And technically that is true by some metrics, like GDP is up. But when the average lived experience of a person in America feels like they are struggling, that messaging is not landing. Like, nobody cares about GDP if they can't afford groceries. And this really represents the gap between what economic metrics and headlines are saying and economic reality and how people are actually feeling, like lived experience. And when you are a leader and you are promising to fix that gap and then you don't, people will notice. And that is going to directly lead to consumer spending patterns and other things that we're going to see show up in the coming months.